welcome to another battle on WOT Tactics. I'm on the Matilda this time, tier 4 British medium tanks, and I must admit I'm not too pleased about that because, I'm pleased about the tank, I really like the Matilda, but I'm not pleased about the battle in this particular situation because I am low tier, and in fact I'm one of the very few low tiers, apart from, surprisingly, a tier 1 T1 on the enemy side. Which, okay, I suppose it's a slight advantage. I mean, that's obviously a typical fail platoon on the enemy side, but it's not going to be one tank that's going to change the outcome of the battle. Now, in this battle, I can't really do much on the Matilda because being so slow, you can't really go out in the open on this side of the map. It's too dangerous. I could be really easily spotted, and with 2 artilleries and a fair number of tank destroyers, I could be mincemeat relatively quickly because of my very slow speed. I mean, if I was top tier, I would have just gone straight into the city there and done whatever needs to be done in there using my armor. But I am not top tier. There's no point in me going with the heavy tanks in the city. They'll just penetrate me, and my armor just isn't sufficient. So I kind of decided to kind of stay back at base, although I have to say there's an M7 at base as well that shouldn't really be there. I mean, he could actually make a move and perhaps give a hand to the Churchill and the Rudy that are actually up there in the A line right there. And I am kind of, as you can see, I'm a bit hesitant as to what to do because I would be tempted to push forward a bit and help those 2 tanks. Of which unfortunately we've lost just one, but at the same time I'm fully aware that being so slow I'm just such an easy target, so I've got to stay back and kind of wait for developments. When suddenly an ELC, an AMX ELC comes up, and it took me a little while to kind of register my aim on this tank, and I pay for that because he now goes undercover, and surprisingly I've not been spotted, so that's good, but I gotta make my way towards the base. Now I've been spotted, and now it's bad news because with 2 artilleries they could easily go for me, but luckily the EMX gets destroyed by no other than the Rudy, which was actually there. As you can see, it was a long way away, so I was actually doing the spotting for him, I believe. In the meantime, you can see that the artillery did get to me and damage my turret, so I just try and kind of abandon that dangerous spot, and I get the feeling that somebody else is spotting up here because some of my allies are getting hit. I don't know if you noticed before, but a few of them just got a couple of hits, so somebody was obviously spotting. Anyway, we're leading 6-3, so it's not too bad. In fact, it's not bad at all. I'm just sorry that I've lost nearly half, well, more than half of my HP, and that kind of with the damaged turret as well means that there's no point in me pushing forward, and I'm sorry because that Rudy over there that you can see in B1 really could do with some help. Even though we have, as you can see, there's no enemy spotted here whatsoever. It's completely empty, but I know that there is somebody there because somebody must have been spotting us because some of our allies got damaged just a moment ago. I'll just fast forward a little bit because not much happens here, and finally when we get the Su-100 to make a move, then I decide to make a move as well. Also because from the map it seems that the city is now in our hands, so it's very likely that that group, as you can see, will move forward and start to spot some enemies. When suddenly things actually don't go at all to plan, our advantage is almost gone, but especially there is a VK-36 coming towards our base, and the base is completely undefended apart from me and the artillery, which obviously is also a little bit too far. I am not very happy doing this, but somebody's got to do it. I'm the nearest, so I've got to go and defend base. Now that our advantage is completely gone, And now going to defend base is going to be very hard, because against the VK36 at full health, the Matilda can't really do much. However, you might find that I'm a bit silly here, but I'm not. I'm actually trying to save that Su-100 from distraction. And that Fury just keeps bouncing my shots. And I've got to go and get this Hellcat at least.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
But it's too late. And look at this Fury. It just keeps bouncing my shots. I mean, the Matilda's got very good penetration. 121 average penetration. And yet I can't penetrate that medium tank. Anyway, my attempt to kind of save the Su-100 is gone. And so I gotta go and deal with this VK36, which in the meantime has managed to destroy our artillery. But luckily, the T-150 and the T-25 had come back to defend base and managed to get his health down. And the T-150 then finally destroyed it. So that's good. 4 kills for the T-150. Very good player. He managed not only to deal good damage down in the city, right there, but he also made all his way back to defend base, and I'm very grateful to him, because I couldn't do really much against that VK36. Now things get a bit more tricky here, because we've got, I'll just pause this here in a second, we've got the Nashorn coming up to attack the T-150. Now that's a bit of a threat. And then suddenly we've also got that Fury that I could not penetrate before, coming up from the other side, so we're getting a bit encircled here. However, let's just remember that these two tanks, the Fury and the Nashorn, are the only so-called mobile ones on the enemy team, because the other two tanks on the enemy team are artillery. So what we have to do now is just keep moving and just try and fend off this attack as well as we can without exposing ourselves too much to artillery fire. Now that Fury is the tank that I was trying to take down a while ago, and was always bouncing my shots. So I am particularly keen to destroy this tank, because I don't like my shots being bounced too often, put it this way. So let's go back to normal speed, and this time it goes through. Okay, so now we've only got that Nashorn to deal with. I now know I have to go and help the T-150, but he's a very good player. He also manages to take down the Nashorn. 5 kills for him. Now, we have to attack, obviously, but I can't really help him much because I'm just far too slow. So the best thing to do is to at least provide a bit more of a kind of view range on this side of the map, so that if any of the artillery makes our way there, I can spot it. If not, I can sort of slowly make my way to base and hopefully make it to the enemy base more or less in the same time that it would take the T-150 to go the other way. So I'll just accelerate a little bit here. You have to do that on the Matilda, it's so slow. And I'm actually not really expecting the artillery to be here. I would be expecting it to be at base defending itself or the base, knowing that we are very likely to attack. Accelerate a little bit more, and as you can see, we kind of get into the base at the same time, almost at the same time. He's a little bit faster than me, but at least I'm coming from a kind of less, a bit more of an unexpected angle. Yes, the artillery did not move, so they must both be still at the base. And there's one.
Penetration.
And the T-150 manages to destroy it. Then what happens here? The artillery has gone to the base, our base, and captured it. But I mean, how did they do it? I mean, I came down this way, he came down that way. I reckon what happened is that the enemy artillery went the wide way up on the one line, like that. So when I was coming that way, I was just too far to notice it, and then when he went down this way, I was actually here. I was probably crossing down there and just didn't see it. I mean, it's just incredible. How did that happen? I just don't know. or perhaps, I don't know, maybe he went down this way, but that's not possible because that's where the T-150 was coming from. So anyway, the situation is that the artillery is capturing the base, and this is where it pays to move and attack at the same time. Yes, of course, I could have stayed at the base, our base, and defended it against the upcoming artillery, and I probably would have destroyed it, hopefully. But this is where it pays. This is where it pays to go and capture the base in at least 2 tanks. Look at this. We go there, and 2 of us are capturing the base. It looks like we're going to lose, and then once I get into the circle, the situation completely changes. We even our disadvantage, and then we start taking the lead. I am actually taking a position, as you can see, sort of behind the building. That way the artillery cannot get me if it's trying to do a pot shot. The T-150 is a little bit more dangerous. That position is too much in the open. But anyway, the artillery doesn't seem to try and reset our capture, and we managed to win. And in this battle, I managed. There you go. You saw that shot. I managed to not only win and survive and even do a bit of damage and 2 kills, but especially I got an epic medal for destroying 2 tanks of 2 tiers higher, which was obviously the Fury and the Hellcat. I'm particularly pleased to have destroyed the Fury because I don't really understand that tank, and it's actually it's been taken out because of a movie that I actually don't think is a particularly good movie anyway. So to destroy the tank is a good thing. So there you go, Matilda winning an epic medal and winning and surviving and doing a tactically good battle. Thank you for watching.